Hi guys, I am back to show you a tutorial on airbrushing vinyl. You see a donut here that I am heat setting, and then I'll show you how it was all done. So I'm heat setting this with a heat gun on low, and I am staying back away from it even though it looks like I'm close. I'm really not that close. And you want to be very careful because heat will melt the vinyl, but it will set the paint. And as you go around, it will shrink the vinyl up a little bit from the backing paper so that you can peel it off quite easy. And then place it on your sign, window, wherever you're going to place your decal. Back years ago, I used to do this quite often until the printing came out where the ink was printed right on the vinyl. Now, of course, they do that. You'll see it all over trucks. Um, but so it's not required as often, but I still like to do it. If I have a sign that they want something special on, that they want to be a decal or a sticker, if I'm putting it on a lettering, and this just happens to be an O that was in the middle of donut, and then on shop, donut shop, there's another O, so I use this as like the O, and I'm airbrushing it like two donuts. So here you see me picking off the vinyl that's in the center of the donut, and then I'll be cutting the sections from where my plotter had cut the donut, the O out, and I'll be cutting around the side of that and then peeling that off. And then I'll show you how the whole process is done. Sorry I haven't been on here in a while. Had a couple really big, large jobs, and then I went on a 10-day vacation, which led me down to my um, class in South Carolina at School of Realism with Drew Blair, where I met some awesome people. Hey, Shay and Liz, hope you guys are doing great. And uh, Reggie, Regina. And there I'm peeling off the other side, and you can see there's a sprinkled donut. So now I'll show you how to do the process of just taking your vinyl that you've cut out with your plotter. You'll see that I've outlined it with a black marker so I can see where the plotter had cut the donut out. And I'm going around with a gray Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm just kind of scuffing that up, using round little circles there to so the paint will have some texture to adhere to. Just taking the shine off, basically. Just kind of letting you, I've already done this process, of course, but I wanted to kind of show you how I did it. I just kind of go around and just use little light motions and get the shine off. And then, of course, um, when I drew around, it kind of helps me to see where I'm going to be airbrushing, because sometimes it's hard to tell and you lose where the plotter had cut at. So that's why I put a line, and I don't draw on the actual cut. I draw a little way back from it so it won't be underneath my airbrushing. There you can very well see the difference between the shine and the unshine. And then I'm going to get a tack rag, which I could not find. So I came back with a brush, and I'm going to brush away the dust from using the Scotch-Brite pad. And I get the grays automotive Scotch-Brites on Amazon. They come in a box, and so they're not hard to find. I'm just going to start airbrushing some white in there. And I'm just using kind of a wicked Cretex uh, Wicked Cretex colors. And this is just the regular white detail white, and I'm coming in and I'm not being real straight with it. Just kind of spraying the white around, and in different areas I'm being a little bit stronger with the white than others, and then I'll be blending it all together. This kind of just gives it kind of a roundish look instead of being so flat. And then once I get around, I'll just be doing like tiny little circles around to fill in areas with the white. Um, I wanted to do this tutorial so that some of you that's never airbrushed vinyl before would be able to know how to do it. And I had done this years ago, like I said. I've been trying to voice over this video for a while, but people keep coming in and bothering me, so then I have to start over. So if I said this before, I am sorry. But anyway, a lot of times when you angle your airbrush, you can angle it different areas to where your overspray will go where you want it to. In other words, if I angle my airbrush to the left, the overspray is going to go over to the left. So if I angle it in a way that the overspray will blend in to my overall design, it works much better. Of course, you could use handheld stencils if you wanted to, but since this is going to be up high on a sign, there's no sense for me to do that. It's not going to be looked at close, so there's no sense in me using stencils and being all precise about it. I am holding about an airbrush length away from the vinyl, and this airbrush that I'm using is a 270 Creos, and it's a 0.2 millimeter needle, so you can get pretty thin lines with it if you wanted to be that detailed. Now on the Wicked, you can use a dowel to scratch out certain areas if you wanted to use it for highlights, but Wicked um, color is kind of permanent, so after it cures, it's really hard to get off. So if you're going to do that type of etching, then you want to do it pretty quick before it cures. South Carolina was beautiful, where I took my vacation, and then further down where I took my airbrush class, and it was, the trees were just so awesome. Red, yellow, oranges. I made a boo-boo there with a bright highlight. So now I'm kind of coming in and filling in around it so it won't show so bad. With your boo-boos, there's ways to fix it. There's ways to get around it. There's ways to add to it to make it look like it's part of the design. So you never can mess up on anything totally. You can always fix your work. There's always a way to fix it. See, it's already starting to look more of a round than just so flat like it was before. Now I'm going in and then spraying little circles, but if you can see, I'm quite far away from my design. I'm just letting some of that overspray hit in areas that the vinyl picks up. Then I'll be coming in with the yellow next and putting little sprinkles on top of this icing. This is just Wicked. I believe it's chrome yellow. I don't know that there's a detail yellow and a chrome yellow and different colors, but I think this is the chrome. And it doesn't really matter what color yellow as long as it's, yellow. Our weather up here in Indiana has been really warm since I've been back. It's the day I came back from South Carolina, it was like 40. I'm like, what? And like then the next day after that, it got to 80. And I'm like, come on, is this like for real? But just that drastic change like that is crazy. But now it's back to about 68, so it's beautiful right now. Um, I like this type of weather. It could stay like that all winter, as far as I'm concerned. It's one thing about Indiana, you never know what you're going to get. There you can see I'm using my pinky on that one hand to place down on the artwork so I can brace my hand so it's not so shaky. So if you have trouble with a shaky hand, because some people we know drink a lot of monster drinks, right, Liz? Well, anyway, oh, boo! I call her boo. Anyway, um, you can place your finger down on your one hand to brace your other hand to keep a straight, to keep your hand from being shaky. And wearing gloves really helps if you have to place your pinky down to brace your hand. If you're doing artwork on automotive or you're doing artwork on anything else that you do not want to get oils from your skin on, because it kind of messes with the clear coat with things. So I like to do that. I don't airbrush on canvas a lot because I just like using the aluminum panels. And there's the same process you use for vinyl, you use for aluminum panels, and that's using a Scotch-Brite pad to scuff the shine off of it, and then you just start painting. And it is thin enough. I get the 1/8 inch B-Bond is what it's called, aluminum sign panels, and you can get that at any sign warehouse. Um, and then you can score it with a knife, a razor, kind of, and then once you have it scored 2 or 3 times down with a cutto, then it just snaps. So you can pretty well cut it yourself. Here I'm coming back in with the Wicked Red, and I'm going to put in the little red sprinkles. And you don't want to be too uniformed with this. You just want to put it wherever. You're hearing my dog scratch his ear. He's right here to the side of me. And he was so happy when I got back. He about knocked me down, kissing me. And then, of course, my cat didn't let me sleep the whole night when I first got back because he had to lay on top of my belly, which was strange. A design with chrome with fire would be kind of cool. I've been thinking about that. Everybody does skulls and stuff. And um, I think something chrome with fire behind it would look cool. I have to kind of see what I can come up with. Wicked is a very good paint. I like to use it on leather, vinyl, automotive now. You can use candies over it. Um, you can do a lot of different things with Wicked. Now, when you're painting like a art piece that's going to be on framed, you don't need to use Wicked. You can Cretex illustration works better for that. I have tried the Chroma um, Air, but I don't know. I like Wicked. I think once you find something you like, why change? If it works and you like it, you know, everybody talked about how good at paint that the other was, so I got some, and it works just as bad as the same as Wicked. It does have some pretty cool colors, though, I will have to say. My my red there I was getting kind of tip dry on my end of my needles, so I had to blow it out there for a second. And I'll be coming back in and starting over. Sometimes you just have to blow it out. Need to cut my dog's nails. Did you hear him running through the house there? His name's Barney, by the way. I'll share that with you if you haven't heard before. I'm sure you've watched some of my other videos where he's in the background. He knows what going to the paint shop means. He's ready to go, standing by the door when I say, "Do you want to go to the paint shop?" Gets up and he goes right to the door. I'm just putting in a little bit of that red around the edge of the donut. Just because I have some in my airbrush, just kind of want to use it up. Then on the inside there. I'll be coming back with blue next. And we'll be putting in some blue sprinkles. I usually upload on Mondays or Tuesdays. The videos don't take so long. It's the formatting that takes long and the voiceovers. And then, of course, interruptions in between. So that's why sometimes it takes me a while to get them on YouTube. Um, but I try to upload. Now that I'm back, I'm going to try to upload a video a week. So sometimes it's kind of late Tuesday nights before I get it on the air. But I try to do best I can do between working and everything else. I use those blue, I got those blue, what do you call them? They're like the bed pad things you put on your bed, or puppy pads or something like that. I use those to put off to the side to keep my um, aluminum um, panel that I have behind there from getting all airbrushed up But I also use them for like if somebody brings in a Harley tank or something like that. I always want a clean surface to put the the piece on that I'm working on, so I use them for that too. So they really do come in handy, and they're cheap. I learned a couple new things at the airbrush class, but I guess I expected a little bit more. But of course, I have been airbrushing for a long time, so I guess I kind of already knew a lot. I just thought I would learn more than I did, I guess. I don't know. It was a good class, though. Good instructor, down to earth. Like I said, this isn't real. I'm just kind of throwing these in there, here and there. It's not real tight or anything. Just kind of airbrushing loosely because it is going to be up high. Nobody's going to be looking at it close up. Now I'm going to airbrush some blue highlights around into the white frosting here and there. Today is vote day, Tuesday. Can't believe how many people are off work today. Putting a little hint of blue for a shadowing. Then I'm going to be coming in with brown next. It's a nutmeg color. It's not burnt umber or anything like that. I think it's nutmeg. It's not a dark, dark brown. It's kind of like a little bit of a reddish brown, I guess. And this is kind of the last shade that I'm going to be airbrushing in before I clear coat and then heat set it. You want to, after it's completely done, you want to use a low tack transfer paper, and I usually get that at, it's called Inglance in Indianapolis, but you can get it at any sign warehouse place. You just have to make sure it's a low tack. And then, of course, before you stick any sticker, you want to wet the back of it with water, spray the back with water, or the surface you're going to put it on with water, and then it allows you to squeeze out the water and the air bubbles from underneath it. Back in the day, I done really huge airbrush decals like this and would roll them up and ship them out, and people would put them on their RVs and um, go-karts and all kinds of things. I've had a lot of work sent back with pictures of RVs and down the side of a truck. They last for a long time. And if you use like a UV, of course I think Wicked's paint is UV protected, but if you use a UV clear on it, then it does not fade out. I use Crayon Clear. Now, since the vinyl is shiny, I like to use a shiny gloss clear, but you don't have to. And I'm just spraying with Crayon Clear, and of course I'm not really spraying it because I want to take it outside, but I'm just kind of doing that so you get the idea. Even coats, 2 coats of Crayon Clear, and then you would come back in with your heat gun and you would heat set it. Now I am just going to go ahead and heat set it, so you will see me heat setting it. I have it on low temp, so you don't want to ever be high on vinyl, and you want to stay kind of far away from it, and you want to use quick motions. You don't want to leave it in one place too long or it will absolutely melt the vinyl. And you will actually see it. Well, you can't see it on camera here, but you can kind of see it pull a little way from the backing, just a little tiny bit. So that's when you know it's done. It leaves like a little crack in between where the plotter had plotted it and cut out the donut or the O. Now I'm picking out the center, and then I'm going to cut the sides of it. And slowly peel away. Revealing the freshly sprinkled donut hole. And then I would use a low tack transfer paper to transfer this onto the sign where I want it. Thank you guys for watching, and check back with me next week for another project. See you guys later.